If you had told me when I was 16 years old that I would be standing here as a CFO speaking to you today, I would have absolutely laughed. I would have ran the other way. Back then, all I knew was that I didn't want to be a waitress for the rest of my life. And what I couldn't have imagined was that at Blue Ridge Community College, I found an opportunity and, a tremendous opportunity and a community that was going to change the trajectory of my life. I am Athena Hess, and I grew up in Rockingham and Harrisonburg. I went to Harrisonburg High School, but really for me, school was about life, starting when I turned 16 and got my first job. I don't think that my grades ever really showed my abilities. They weren't that great. And what I would say is that what I had going for me was I had a really strong work ethic, I was kind, and I was really curious. I listened, I paid attention, and I wanted more than what I had. When I was a senior in high school, I went to my guidance counselor and I said, how do I apply to go to JMU? And he looked at me and he said, you're not going to college. And I applied anyway, but I didn't get in because of my grades. But I still knew that I didn't want to be a waitress for the rest of my life. So after working a long career waitresses, I knew that that was such a hard and exhausting career, and I wanted something more. I became the first person in my family to attend college and graduate, and I actually was basically the first person in my family to graduate from high school. My dad and his family and my older brother never finished. But how I made it work was I worked basically full-time my entire high school and college career. Money was extremely tight, and I struggled, but I just kept putting my foot forward to try and make something better for my life. That's when Blue Ridge Community College was my saving grace. It was the perfect transitional school, and they accepted me, my mediocre grades, and I found a community, encouragement, and honestly, the professors were invested in me, and they believed in me. It felt like a safe place, and I really wanted to be here, and honestly, it was way cheaper than JMU. It was 27 miles from my house, so I was able to live at home, and that afforded me the ability to pay my way, and I graduated debt-free. In 1987, I graduated with a general studies degree and transferred to JMU, where I pursued accounting. It was definitely not easy, and I struggled, and I'm a crier, so I cried. I thought about quitting many times, but I didn't. 3 years later, I earned my bachelor in business administration in accounting. My career began at S.B. Hoover and Company, but as a bookkeeper. My GPA still was not good enough to be an auditor, and I really did not want to do any more schooling, and so I wasn't even thinking about taking the CPA exam. But I lucked out, and about a year into my career at S.B. Hoover, they needed someone to fill in on an audit, and so I went and I filled in. And I asked really good questions, and I worked really hard, and there was a lot of people at the office that then started to request me on their audits. With that confidence, I decided to take the CPA exam, and I failed, and I tried again, and I eventually passed all 4 parts. Looking back, every challenge, every hard class, every long hour at work, and every no just shaped who I was. It wasn't the grades or the opportunities that defined me, but I feel like it was my persistence and my curiosity and determination. I was the waitress from a waitress to a CPA and a CFO. I know now that resilience and hard work can open doors that I couldn't have imagined. And I know that Blue Ridge Community College was the pivotal point that saved me and put me on this extraordinary journey. After 14 years at SB Hoover & Company, I joined Comsonics, where I've been there for 21 years. I started as the controller, and then I was promoted to the CFO, and then fairly recently, I was voted onto the board of directors. I am super proud to work at Comsonics as they give scholarships to Blue Ridge Community College kids. So thank you, Blue Ridge Community College, for believing in me when others didn't, and for giving me a safe place to learn and grow and find my path. You were the bridge between that 16-year-old girl and who I am today. And if that same 16-year-old girl could see me, she wouldn't believe it. But she would know that Blue Ridge Community College was where it all began. Thank you for listening.